Did you miss us? Welcome back to the late night format here on WESU Middletown. I am your host, Slepack. Hanging out in the studio with me tonight, I've got Liz Roche.
Hello there.
We usually banter a little bit right now, but we're not going to do that because we have serious business to discuss. Indeed we do. So lately, the internet and general media outlets around the world have been swarming with lots of feminist fervor and debate. Just in this past week, we've had the incident with Sam Pepper on YouTube, which we discussed earlier, where he harasses women and pulls it off as a prank, and later a social experiment. We've also had Emma Watson give a nice speech at the UN in favor of He for She, an organization for feminism and equality aimed at getting men behind the cause. Mm-hmm. And California just passed a yes means yes law about consent, which is good, and that should be followed by other states.
Yes.
And then going back to the internet, also in the YouTube community, which Liz and I are very much followers of, there have been recent sex scandals where big personalities abuse their fans and take advantage of their media positions.
Yes.
Which is very unfortunate. Sam Pepper, after putting up the video, was listed as a person, like, people came out against him saying that he had done that. Also on the list are musician and vlogger personality Alex Day, Mike Lombardo, Alex Carpenter, and
Ed Bland.
Ed Bland. Oh, his name is Ed Bland?
Yeah.
That's funny. He goes by Ed Plant, which is punny, but he's not a good human.
And, Luke Connard.
I knew that, but forgot, and then was just remembered. Yeah, so the list just keeps growing and growing, and it's very upsetting, especially in this very small, supportive community online. And then that's just been this week, pretty much. Well, not all the stuff with Alex Day, but
there's been an upsurge this week, unfortunately. Yeah. And it's one of those where unfortunately it's happening, but also fortunately people are speaking out about it.
Yes, absolutely.
And there's an outpouring of support, which is always good to see. Yeah. It's always fantastic to see.
I ended up in a loop of YouTube videos a couple of days ago of just watching women and also men speaking out for the cause of equality, for the cause of curbing sexual abuse and harassment. And yeah, pretty much like while you said, like, it sucks that it's brought up by circumstances such as these. It's something that should be talked about. So we thought we would continue to talk about it, given that we sort of have a little broadcasting pool going on right here. So yeah, we wanted to give the issue more attention because it's a problem that, despite supposed better judgment and stuff, is still pretty pervasive, and it's ridiculous that women and men are not yet on equal ground when it comes to many things in society.
And I think this is just, people might not be aware of what kind of platform YouTube and just the social media in general is, but particularly YouTube, and how it gives people a certain power over, how it gives creators power over their audience, and how people have been abusing that. It's been used in wonderful ways.
Yeah, and in a way...
for charity, to create just amazing content.
And even for movements like this, where people are able to speak out and be given a voice against these bigger outlets. Yeah. Whether it's a bigger subscriber count or it's a news outlet even. Yeah. Like, people are able to get attention on YouTube, which is a powerful thing.
Yeah.
So, inspired by YouTube, we've decided to guide and channel our Lady Rage through a YouTube tag, which is generally a questionnaire of sorts that it gets passed around from user to user. And this one is called the Lady Survey, which was created by a YouTuber called Rosianna House Rojas, that came out about a year ago to encourage discourse about women in online content. And yeah, we'll answer the original questions, but also try to put them in a bit of a wider scope for those of you who are less familiar with and not as interested in the YouTube world. But just in case we go a little off the rails, Liz, you want to read our WESU disclaimer real quick?
Of course. The views expressed on this program are the views of the individual broadcaster and by no means reflect the view of Wesleyan University or the WESU management. This program may contain material not suitable for children or sensitive listeners. If you are offended by profanity, please tune out now. If you have questions about the WESU indecency and obscenity policy, please contact our board of directors at 860-685-7703, or you can send an email to wesu@wesufm.org.
Thank you very much, Liz.
Of course.
So let's just get right to it.
Okay.
So the first question on the questionnaire is, do you agree that the internet is a harder space for women? Why? Is it helpful or harmful to acknowledge that being whatever your opinion is on the topic? And we could talk about the internet for a little bit, and then maybe we can also discuss other avenues.
Okay. Yes.
Yes.
Short answer. No, yes.
I concur.
And admittedly, because we are not content creators, we are content absorbers.
Speak for yourself. YouTube.com/theCurliQtube.
Okay, I speak for myself. I am not a content creator.
No, I don't consider myself too much of one as well. At least not one with any power.
But there's definitely a trend where women creators, generally, they have a smaller audience, and they definitely get much more not even criticism, just like pure vitriol from their audience. And I mean, it's certainly, it's just, we'll take over
it's
now.
It's infuriating. And then the argument comes back that sure, on YouTube, lots of the people who are creating content are young, let's say, to expand the age range, 16 to 25-year-old males and females who have found an avenue and an audience through this content. And it's very true that for the male audiences, a large part of their viewership is from young girls who very much maybe just find them attractive and like to look at their faces. For women, on the other hand, they probably have a larger female audience as well, but it's very, very easy for a majority of their comments to be just filled with, you look like this, you look like that.
Yeah,
whether it's positive or negative, it's completely dismissing. Sorry, I'm
go ahead.
cutting you off. It's like dismiss. It doesn't really matter what the video is about. If they change their hair, if they change their makeup, if whatever, there's going to be comments about their appearance rather than the content.
Yeah, and there's definitely, I wish it were that innocent, but there's always the over-sexualization. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with YouTube as a format, I know we won't go into like internet anonymity or all that stuff, but YouTube has a system where it shows comments based on popularity, which is relatively new, and from what I've seen, content creators are not a fan of it, because instead of getting the average comments, you get the comments that create the most discussion, which are usually the most provocative.
And the most polarized.
Yeah. So it's not... The comments you typically see on are the worst. The worst of them. Which
that's so disheartening. Because just as someone who has, like, put up a video in my life, it's horrifying. It's the most kind of, especially in the medium of vlogging, which is supposed to be very transparent and very, like, this is me, take me as I am.
Yeah.
even though that's not the case, but that's not really what we're talking about. Like, I'm pretty sure I put up a video once, and the one comment I got was, "I don't like this." And, like, I don't care who that person is, like, but it sucks to see those words on a page.
Yeah.
And when you do have such a big polarized viewership, like, that's horrible.
Yeah. And I mean, especially for women who get death threats or just any threats of physical violence, it can be terrifying. They might not have any recourse of what to do next to feel safe. And people might not just care. I mean, I know a YouTuber by the name of Lacey Green. I'm sure she actually, before I started watching her a while back, went off YouTube for a time because of the threats she was receiving.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's not just dealing with comments about your boobs look big.
Because Lacey Green is essentially a YouTube sex education teacher.
Yeah.
She puts up videos about, she's been on a rampage about this stuff.
She was actually at Wesleyan last year.
True. And she is an overwhelmingly positive influence, I would think. So to, like, shoo someone like that off the site is quite negative. And is it helpful or harmful to acknowledge that? I think it's helpful. I don't
know why that would be harmful. Like giving it, like, legitimizing trolls.
That's the only thing I could think of. But, no, like, it's something that needs to be talked about and ideally resolved, or at least, quelled.
I mean, there should be steps taken. I don't know if I know enough about YouTube as an industry to suggest such steps.
Yeah, but comment moderation.
Yeah.
Which is, like, impossible.
No, but definitely that comment system needs to go.
Yeah, that's a rough move.
I know of certain content creators who have asked their audiences to only leave comments on good comments, to only reply to good ones, to try and bring those to the front.
Yeah.
Would you like to, shall we move on to question 2? Is there anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, I mean, just as, like, hammering it home, like, this is something that everyone's heard, but it's obviously not just the internet that is a harder space for women. I think any position of public power that a woman could be put in is harder for her to be in than it is a man.
Just the public.
Yeah, that's a solid point.
Okay, gonna keep going. Even, I think, private spaces then are threatened. Which I think we see with, like, the issue of the leaked
with the
nudes.
internet, for sure.
Yeah, like, it's not... There may be private spaces, but I think they're constantly being threatened. And actively tried.
Yeah. That's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, just for the sake of time, I think I'm going to have us move on.
Okay.
What is the most helpful book/article you've read, film you've watched/video you've seen this year about womanhood?
Oh, God, I don't know. I do so much.
Just, like, part of the reason I thought it would be a good idea to talk about this today is, so literally a couple days ago, I ended up in a loop of watching women talk out against people who have hurt them, talk out for the cause, as a cause that just needs to be talked about. And I watched one video by a content creator who goes by Ophelia Dagger. I think her real name is Chelsea, but the quote that stuck with me and is kind of the reason why I wanted to do this, is she was like, YouTube is about entertainment, or at least as an industry it is, but she said, like, challenges can wait, entertainment can wait. Like, and it's, if you're subscribed to people of the, like, vlog YouTube community, your sub box right now is flooded with videos about this topic, because it's just, everyone's talking about it, everyone's giving their opinion, and she said, it doesn't matter if every video for the next 2 months is about this topic, like, it's something that we need to talk about because it's relevant and becoming more relevant, and people aren't learning better. So that was that motivated me to do this, which is dedicating an hour of radio time to the ladies.
Well, also, I wish, this is awful because I can't remember her name, but there is a YouTuber who put up a video kind of going off this, all these things coming out, to talk about racism on YouTube.
Okay.
Specifically Shane Dawson. Which, I don't know enough, like, I haven't watched enough to, like, talk about knowledgeably, but just that also these things the conversation is also broader, so it's talking about just issues in general of troublesome content, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the whole point of dedicating entertainment time to this is to just talk about things that are problematic. It doesn't have to be this one issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. If it opens up a dialogue for bigger things, then cool.
Yeah.
What did Shane Dawson specifically? Is it just, like, his characters are all caricatures?
He had some old videos. I think he's now taken them down, for what it's worth, but he had some old blackface videos.
I thought that's what it was going to be. So I guess I have, like, some vague recollection of that happening. I've never watched too much of Shane Dawson. Sucks. Gross. Awful. Why? Books or articles, or are we strictly visual people?
I mean, I read.
I don't. So.
I can't. Does it have to be in the last year?
No.
Oh God, I can't think. Anything that Laurie Halse Anderson has written. Not even just her novels. She is very much she's a young adult author. One of my favorites. I met her a couple of years ago, which was impressive. Or not like no, I was very excited.
I know what you mean. That's just why I'm laughing.
She was a great person to meet. And I think it's always so nice when there are people you admire who talk out about these things too. Mm-hmm. She's always talking about these issues. Maureen Johnson on Tumblr is pretty great with these things. I'm trying to remember.
I can't peg a specific article, if I can just butt in while you're thinking.
Yeah.
But I've read a lot of things recently just about this topic, and it just made it so salient lately about people getting catcalled on a daily basis, people being afraid to leave their houses, people carrying keys between their like fingers as they're walking, and it stems from things like that to just my train of thought just left. But I read a lot. Another thing I read an article about stereotypes about herpes and sexually transmitted diseases.
Mm-hmm.
And like
was it on a blog by Ella Dawson?
Yeah, probably. I get a lot of my stuff from there, but and it's just something that I've never really thought of, and like all the stereotypes that go along with that. And I'm from a pretty secluded suburb where I think I've been whistled at like one time in my whole life, and it was like in Argentina when I was like 13. So like it's not a problem that has been very aware in my mind, and mm-hmm. I've read a lot of stuff recently that has brought it to my attention.
Something just popped into my head. Actually, written by Ella Dawson. Hi, Ella.
Shout out.
No, she wrote, I don't know if you read this one, but I read one of her blog posts about the book Ella Enchanted.
Mm-hmm.
And how when she went back to read it as an adult, she saw this theme of consent in it, which I haven't read the book. I have seen the movie, which he was not a fan of.
Oh, I like the movie. Sorry,
or at least compared to the book. I don't remember. Maybe. Which just that idea, because I know consent is such a huge conversation to have, and I feel like it's made out to be a conversation that has to be age appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that blog post was a good way of showing there are ways to make conversations about things like consent and sexual assault age appropriate, and that it should be taught. These things should be taught to people young, because it can be as simple as just children respecting,
right?
Like when someone doesn't want to be touched or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. Just because we're short on time, I'm going to skip to the last question in the questionnaire. Who are your favorite 5 internet females?
Okay. Lacey Green, Meghan Tonjes, Lindsay Doe.
Who is Lindsay Doe?
She is on a YouTube channel called...
Oh, never mind. Sorry.
She is on a YouTube channel called Sexplanations. Which is another YouTube sex ed channel. Slightly different from Lacey Green. I feel like the channels come to it at a different angle. Who are the others? I'm blanking. Why am I blanking? Oh, God.
It's stressful.
Yeah. Definitely those 3. Oh, God, there was another one. There were another 2. There were a lot, and I can't think of them. Who am I subscribed to on YouTube?
SourceFed?
Yeah. All of the ladies of the Lizzie Bennet Diaries.
That was my next thing that I was going to say.
Who are yours?
It's all the ladies going to count as
Meghan
2?
Tonjes.
You said Meghan Tonjes.
Oh, I didn't even mean to say that. I meant... Who did I mean? Oh, my God. Maureen Johnson. That's what I meant.
Maureen Johnson, the author.
The author, who is also... has a Tumblr. That is pretty great.
Cool.
Yeah.
My favorite's Grace Helbig.
Oh! Oh my God! I'm awful. I have to get off YouTube because I don't deserve it. Hannah Hart, Jesus.
Grace Helbig and Hannah Hart frequently perform together. They're really good friends. Hannah Hart does My Drunk Kitchen, youtube.com/myhearto. Grace Helbig is at /It's Grace.
Yes.
Yeah, I've talked about her too much on this show because I just think that everything she does is fabulous. I had another one in my head, then it just flew away. It flew away like a little bird. Felicia Day, awesome champion of nerd culture and fun times, and being funny. Oh, and Grace Helbig I like for being funny. She's just really, really funny. No, but I had another one. Wait, who was the second one I said?
I don't know.
I'm having a stroke. Internet ladies.
Lex Can Roar is pretty good.
Yeah, she's good.
Good.
No, I had one.
Natalie?
No.
Tess? No?
I mean, I like them. They're fabulous. But, no. I had good ones. I had one that, wrote something.
I don't know, man. She'll get back to you next week. Next 2 weeks with it.
Don't lie to them. Oh gosh.
You okay?
No,
Okay.
I picked on you for not coming up with 5, and then, okay. Grace Helbig, Felicia Day. Let's go with, Lee Newton.
Oh, yes.
Who is on SourceFed, and she's a host, and she's hilarious, and just, very, good.
Very
with,
good
herself and
does.
stuff. Internet. Oh, I remember what I was going to say.
Tell me.
Natasha Allegri. Natasha Allegri is the creator of Bee and Puppy Cat on, Channel Frederator, or Cartoon Hangover, actually. She worked on Adventure Time, and then got her own show, and the show... Oh, and then number 5 can be Bee, who is the cartoon in Bee and Puppy Cat. who is the coolest. Yes, internet ladies. Oh, another... No, never mind.
I'm not sure how to pronounce her last name, but Erica Moen. I've never had to pronounce.
I don't know who that is.
She is an artist who has a web cartoon called Oh Joy Sex Toy. So if you were into the sexy time, sex ed thingies, check out that would interest you. They're really great. No, they're really great cartoons. I love them.
You should send me that.
Yeah.
Cool. So unfortunately we're all out of time. It seems like we could have easily talked forever, but
I can always talk about the ladies.
The ladies. Yeah, but hope you found this fun. We'll be right back in a second with YouTube musician and awesome lady Meghan Tonjes, who will serenade your ears right after this. So don't touch anything. We'll be back in a minute. Oh, we're still here. Now we're going.
Welcome to